I'm Shelly Turner with the BUILDERALL team. In this video, we're going to talk about the Add button inside of your Cheetah editor. So as you can see, I'm inside my Cheetah editor, and I'm going to go up to the top right-hand side, and I'm going to click Add. And when you don't have anything in your website, the only thing that you can add are panels and elements, and you can work with your font sizes. So let's take a look at panels first. So when I click Add and I go to Panels, I've got either the ability to add a blank panel, or I can scroll down and take a look at all the different types of panels that are pre-configured for me. So if I want to do a first fold, all I have to do is click First Fold, and I can choose a pre-configured panel that I could add to my website. So to do that, all I do is click it one time, and it throws it right into the page and gets it all ready for me so I can start editing. So that's how I add a panel. If I want to get rid of the panel, I just click on it to get that little bitty toolbar, and we're going to call this the mini toolbar. So I'm going to use my mini toolbar and go to the delete button, and then that's fine, and that will delete that panel. Also, I have add panel and other panels that I can choose from. So I have block panels, I have call to action panels, I have contact panels, and many other different styles of panels. So I can scroll through and choose any of those pre-made panels that I want to. I'm going to choose a blank panel, so I'm going to click blank, and that adds a blank panel for me into my website. The next thing I can add is an element, so I can go to Add and Element, and here are the different elements that I can add to my panels. So I can add a box element, I can add a button element, I can add an email marketing form, and these are pre-configured forms that I can edit once they're added. I can add an iframe. I can add an image placeholder and then change that image. I can add a menu item. I can add text, and the text goes from H1 all the way to H6 and then paragraph text. And then I can also add a video. So any of those areas lets me add those elements to my panel that I created. So let's go ahead and just add a box. So I'm going to click box, and then I'm going to choose this first one, and I'm just going to drag it over. It doesn't look like I have it, but when I drop it, it will drop it onto that panel. And then from here, I'm still in the add menu, still under element. But if I want to edit this box, I can click on the box and work with the mini menu where I can center the item. I can hide the item, and that will then show in the Show Hidden Elements area. I can duplicate the item, or I can delete the item. Now, if I want to work with the settings, then I need to right-click on the item, and that opens the settings and puts me in the style area where I can start changing the style and settings of my box. So now let's take a look at what else we can add. So I'm going to click Add, and then Element, and I'm going to collapse box, and I'll go down to Button. And I can click and drag one of the button styles right here and drop it. And now I have a button on my page. And so I can click right on the button to get the mini toolbar. And with this mini toolbar, I can center it. I can also click the second little icon, and that allows me to configure some settings. So what do I want to do with that button? Do I want to enable the user to click it to go to a website? Enable the user to click it so they can go to one of the pages in my website, enable the user to activate a pop-up, enable the user to go to an anchor spot, or enable the user to open a video. So all of those things are available on the button by clicking that little area on the mini toolbar. You can also hide the button, and it will show up in the Show Hidden Elements area, and then you can unhide it once it's in there. You can duplicate the button, and you can delete the button. If you right-click the button, that will take you to the settings area where you can work on the style of the button, including background, border, radius, button headline, button subheadline, and shadow. You can also go to the animation settings and the advanced settings, including working with the layering and saving the element so that you can add it to your personal area and use it in multiple websites. So now let's go back to the add area. We've looked at panels, we looked at elements. Now let's look at font. This is the area where you can standardize your font for your website. So when you work in this area, the add and then font, you are working on setting the standard fonts that you're going to use for your website. So you've got your H1 here, and for H1, you can change it to whatever font family you want, font size for desktop, font size for mobile, the line height, and the color. And then the next one is H2. If you scroll down, it's H3. Scroll down 4, all the way to 5 and 6, and then paragraph size. So this is setting it for what you want it to be for the entire website. Now, what if you want to just add a text element to your page? To do that, you're going to go to Add and then Element. And from this area, you're going to find Text, and you're going to click here. You're going to choose which style of font you want to add, H1 to H6 or a paragraph style. I'm going to go ahead and choose paragraph and click and drag it over and drop it on my panel. So now I've got example text that I can change by double clicking in there. And now I can change the text. Shelly loves Cheetah. I can also highlight that text and bold it. I can underline it, italicize it, do strike through. I can change the color. If I don't want it to be one of the standard text sizes, I can change the font style and the size. And I can choose exactly how I want my font to look based on this dynamic toolbar. Once I've made all the changes that I want to make, then I click Save. And it saves all the changes in that element, and I can start working with a different element. I can also right-click that element, and I can go to Animation, and I have some animation settings that I'm able to change. I can also go to Advanced, and I can work on layering, or I can save that element as an item that I want to save in my personal area so I can use it on another website. Remember that this is set to the default paragraph setting. So if I have this setting too small or too big and I want to change it across the website, then all I need to do is go into Add and then Font. And remember, this is the paragraph size. So I'm going to go all the way down to paragraph. So right here at the bottom. And I can change the font family. So let's change it to Lato. And then I can change the color. So let's change the color to red. And then I can change the size. So let's change the size. And I want you to notice that it is dynamically changing for me. And that will happen to everything that has the font style of P or paragraph. So if you've chosen the paragraph font style, it will change it across the entire website. The only way to make it not change in the entire website is to double click on the text and then highlight the text and use the dynamic toolbar to change it only in this area. So I can change it from Lato to Muley Black. I can change the color. So let's go ahead and change the color to purple. And I can even change the background color to blue. And so now I've changed that text to something very different, but it's not changing all of the different font styles that I have available on the entire website. It is only changing this one element. And then once I make the changes to this one element using the dynamic toolbar, then I can actually go to Save. And now that item is changed and ready to go, but all of my standard fonts stay the same. So that's how you use the Add button to work with panels, elements, and fonts inside of your website. Have fun building something amazing with Cheetah.